If you tell me you've got a desire, I'm all in. Do you want to grow?
Absolutely.
Hello and welcome to I Want to Grow. I Want to Grow is all about exactly that. So if you don't want to grow, then this podcast isn't for you. But this one for us today is a special one. I've got two guests all the way from Nigeria, and they've got a startup that is just incredible, and they're going to be changing the world for so many different people. So Ibi, we're going to come to you first. Please introduce yourself and tell us all about what you've started up here.
Thank you, Steve, for having us. My name is Ebi, and I'm the co-founder of Safital. Safital is an e-learning company in Abuja, Nigeria. What we do is we do edutainment, education, entertainment. Recently, we just launched a new product called Ethereum, the t-shirt I'm wearing. So Ethereum was built specifically to cater for the Gen Zs, the new generation we have now. So we built Ethereum to cater for Gen Zs. So thank you once more for having us.
New generation, the new generation. That's powerful. Amir, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Amu. Like Ebi said, we co-founded Safital Learning. Safital Learning is a digital learning company focused on using technology to drive education and learning. Because we believe for a country as large as Nigeria, 200 million people plus, and on the continent of Africa, we have about 1.2 billion people. Both in Africa and in Nigeria, 60% of the population is less than 24 years old. So, something that keeps me awake at night is this. In the next 5 years, the 10s will be 15s, the 15s will be 20s, and the 20s will be 25. We're looking at over 40 million people within the bracket of 15 and 24. That's huge. So part of what we want to drive in Africa is to use learning to improve the capacity of the human being, of the young people, then also to be able to start their own businesses and employ more people, generate wealth for themselves and for their communities. So in a nutshell, that's what Safital is all about. And like Ebi said, we are just launching our newest project called Ethereum. Ethereum is going to be the learning platform for the young people. Yes, so thanks for having us once again.
Oh, dear me. But now I'm going to come back to you because I want to know exactly how you started this and how old were you when you started this?
So why and how did we start this? We looked at our country, where we come from, Nigeria. So before you get a job, you need an experience, right? But we realize these young people, they don't have experience. And most of the jobs, the tech jobs or the digital jobs, you need training for them because we're in a country where you basically need to be trained for it. So what did we do? From our own funds, once you're fresh out of school, we send out applications. Just come. We don't need your experience. We don't need you to know anything digital. Just come, we'll train you. So we put you in a training program. It's called the graduate training program. So we put you in a graduate training program for about 8 to 12 weeks. We pay you a little stipend while we're training you. At the end of the day, those that pass still write an exam. It's a tough process. And when we select you into the system, we now employ you, give you a full-time employment for over 2 years, at least. You'll be in the company. Yes. Some have remained with us now 4 years, 5 years, right? Yeah, so some are still with us for 4 to 5 years, so that's what we do. So that's how the whole thing started, and we realized there is this yearning, there's this, they want to learn, they want to do something different. And at the end of the day, we realized we've produced great animators, great graphics designers, great website builders, mobile app builders, e-learning content developers. We've built amazing tech skills in these young people, which they didn't learn in school. It's not what they graduated with, it's not in their course of study. However, they are now so good at it, and so we keep on doing it, yeah.
When you first started, and you're kind of, and I know that you've bootstrapped the whole time in your growth period. What was it like when you first started off?
It was tough. It was tough because yes, it was tough. To be fair, we had, and we still do, have people who believed in us and who still believe in us. So we have a lot of people, some heads of government agencies, some banks in Nigeria, some private organizations. They see what we do. Sometimes we do our videos, and when we send it out there, maybe documentaries, they're like, no, this wasn't done in Nigeria. So we do great jobs, and the job speaks for itself. So that's how we're able to bootstrap. They give us businesses, and we take the profits back into the business. Yeah.
You were going to just say about the scary. Tell us about the scary side of it, because when you first started off, it kind of, you had all these ambitions, but how did you come to do this?
Steve, that's how it is with a startup. When you are looking at a country that is developing, and it has its own fair share of challenges, right? And you want to go into a sector where you're going to use technology to drive a lot. So we were kind of worried about the funding, but like Ebi said, we have people that say, let's give you some business to do. So we've got people that believe in us, and their own way of supporting us is to give us businesses to do. So we've got like a corporate arm of the business that, so a government agency, for example, could say, please, can you help us do this? And they pay us for that. So we kept plowing back, bootstrapping, it just keeps going and going. But we've been able to navigate the tough times. The initial startup was tough. Building the platform was tough. Getting the people was tough. Paying the salaries, and the whole operations was kind of tough at the beginning. But we've been able to navigate those periods now, and we are just getting to the point where we want to scale. We really want to scale. We have the technology now. We have the content. We have the experience, more importantly. We've learned a lot. You know how it is when you start up and you're navigating something that is not very common. Digital learning, e-learning is not as popular in our country as you find in the western part of the world or in other developed countries. So we're kind of, learning as we moved along, yeah.
How important are those failures in the beginning? How important are they now that you're at your stage? And we're going to go on to that stage that you're at, but how important are those failures that you may have had, or those difficulties, those struggles? How important are they now to look back and think to yourself, haven't we done well?
I would say they were very important. There are things we were doing then that we thought maybe was necessary, which we realized it was kind of wasting time, right? You can't go out there and put up a job ad that you're looking for an e-learning content. No, we realized, why don't we just train, get these people fresh minds, and they would do better. They would bring in new ideas. Then for the softwares, you realize there are other things you could have maybe used A instead of B. So the mistakes we did then, we spent a lot of money doing the mistakes, but yeah.
But it was all the learning on the job, right?
It was. And if you are building a platform for the young people, who is better to build it than themselves?
Okay, I've been lucky. We had a Zoom call where you were very kind, and I was trying to get in my imagination, and everybody out there is going to be exactly the same. They're trying to think to themselves what you've got, because we've not really told them. But I was talking to you about the similar types of things, and the same type of thing where you're telling us about the problem that there was and the solution and how you're going to do it and how the money side of things, just like a pitch deck, right? So you were telling me these things, and I'm thinking, is this just an idea or is this just the concept? And then all of a sudden you turned your computer around and it was like Google. It was like Google. You've got an operation in Nigeria that is absolutely second to none, and it's like, and I was like, I was big. How many people now have you got working for you?
Okay, so prior to COVID, we had over 100 full-time staff. That's excluding the part-time. We have part-time. We had over 100 full-time. Then the COVID happened, operations paused globally. So when we resumed after the COVID, currently we're up to 80 people. Yeah. Currently, yes.
80 people. And what I love about you is it you are, and I know I shouldn't ever ask a lady's age, but you are really young. But with your operation, I know that you're the mum. You look after these with such a passion. Tell us, because I remember talking to you the other day, and you looked up to me and you said, these guys are special. We find them, we educate them, as you said. We walk the walk with them, and we're going to be the best in.
Yes. So I can still say it any day, anytime. What we produce as content, for example, the animations we do today can compete globally. The graphics we do, the website we do, everything we do, we can compete globally with any other brand out there. The reason is these guys are good. The people I work with, they are good. They are very good at what they do. They put their mind to it. It's not easy working with the Gen Zs, but you find a way to work with them. The reason is they have better ideas sometimes. Yes, there has to be processes. That is where Amu comes in with the process.
We're coming in very soon.
Because he used to work in the bank. I didn't work in the bank. So you have, in bank you have all this process, checks and balance. Oh, for me, I just want everybody happy. Let's just do the work. It's playtime, but you play. Yes, you play and you do the work. However, our work is amazing. You've seen most of our work. You saw the office, it's beautiful. You could see anybody that goes to our site. When we do things, they're like, this wasn't done in Nigeria. There was a time we did a magazine production for one of the top oil producing companies in my country, and they traveled to the US with it. There's an oil conference in Houston, right? And when they got there, they had to distribute the materials. And one of the conference attendees said, oh, where was this produced? Here in the US? He said, no, it was produced in Nigeria. And I said, no, it's not just it was produced in Nigeria. So yes, so our work is good. The guys we work with, animation, graphics, web, every single one of them is amazing.
Amazing. And we're going to come to the checks and balances soon, but I want to just touch on that because the feelings that you must be getting with building these individuals that are competing on a global basis. You just got to keep on pinching yourself, right? Do you wake up sometimes and go, oh my word, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, that happens all the time. There is, so we sleep well at night. I sleep well at night knowing that you've just impacted someone's life and that person is going to go out there and impact more people. So it's almost emotional, trying to balance, the structure, the processes, with the ability for human beings to come into an office. They're excited and they want to do great jobs. In 2019, myself and Ebi, I think it was May 2019, we went to Silicon Valley. We just spent some time there, just going to Google Office and just going to Apple, just seeing what, had a couple of meetings. Why did we do that? We wanted to, understand how do these top brands behave? How do they think? How do they design their offices and all that? So we came back and we redesigned our office and redesigned our processes. And so today, you come into the office, everyone is doing the job they ought to do, using the software, tracking what they do. You got to report your performance. Sometimes they complain that it's too much structure, but you got to do it the right way. But in the midst of all that, they are playing the music at the background. Somebody's going to get up, go to the next person. They're going to get excited. They're going to go downstairs. They're going to play table tennis for some time. So the office is happy, but at the same time, we get work done, and we tend to monitor the quality of the work we do, because in our industry, e-learning, media content, what you put out there matters to the learners or to the consumers of the content. So we're quite big on quality, yeah.
But the thing with, and me knowing that I've got 4 children and 5 grandchildren, the biggest thing with me is that we don't get any manual to bring up kids, right? No manual whatsoever. And there's different personalities, there's different characters, there's different everything. And that's where I get kind of overwhelmed with listening to you guys, to look at it and go, how do you keep it all in? How do you keep it all together? How do you keep that harmony between everybody? How do you kind of, I know that you say, and you can say it again about people working all hours when you've got to tell them to go home. It's like, well, how is that? How do you maintain that?
I think it has to do with the organizational culture and the honesty. If I had my way, if I had a magic wand, I would say I want everyone to be successful and good. That's me as a person. To my core, I just want everybody to be fine. It gets weird that it's 7 p.m. We're begging you to go home. Please go home. Saturday is the end of the office. Not because they have to play the PS4 game or the snooker. No, they just want to be around. They are calling you, and they are really calling you. They look up to you a lot, and you beg people to go home. We have projects that will run all through the night. They need to travel. Everyone is willing to go. Please go home. It's late. Your parents are looking for you. Oh no, they make friends. It became a family.
You've been traveling for quite some time. You're in Qatar right now. Everybody is seeing what you're doing, including me. And I just want to bow down and say, because I just see this and I've never seen something so powerful. Really, okay, we've put the education processes in place in all around the world, but to look at it after that education process and those people that could possibly fall through the net, you're there scooping them all up and saying, hey, listen, come with us. We've got something to show you. We've got something to find your talents. The rest of the world is noticing this. You're going around to America, you're going around to Northern Ireland, into Great Britain, into the UK. You've been to Saudi Arabia, you've been to Abu Dhabi, now you're in Qatar.
Yes.
What's your plans here? You've got something more that you want to do here in Qatar, right?
Yes, we do. And, we want to say thank you to our partners that invited us to the FII. FII is the Future Initiative Investment, is in Saudi Arabia. Safita was invited to attend the last conference. It was October, last 2 months. So we visited and attended the conference. We've been to Silicon Valley, we've been to different parts of the world, just to understand how the world operates and seek more partnerships, because our business is very scalable and trying to build a model that we can do, say 10,000 people be on our platform learning. That 10,000 can easily become 100,000, 1 million people, and it just keeps going. So the way we've structured the company is such that we have the structure, we have the technology, we can build content. So organizations, governments, international development agencies can come to us and say, I want to scale my learning. I give an example. There's a company called Pathfinder International. They come to us and say, we want to do something over the next 24 months. Can you handle the media for us? We've got GIZ. GIZ is a German development agency. Yeah. So they had this training going on in my country, in different parts of the country, where people go around the country training different people, SMEs and all that. Brilliant project. So COVID happened, and they come to us, and we take the content. Imagine a Word document of about 100 pages or a PowerPoint slide of about 200 slides. And they give it to us and give us a week or 2 weeks. That's where the magic happens. We can take a 100-page document, and in 2 weeks, we give it back to you with videos, animations, audio, music, games, and a full e-learning material. So they took the material, put it on their platform. So today, they can train 10,000 people at the same time with the same material they have. So that's what Safital is all about. So over the last 2 years, we've been able to sign some very good partnerships. We built in my country, the first ever in the whole of Africa, an SME academy, an academy for small business owned by the government. We built it for we went to the government and said, there are 44, listen to this, 44 million SMEs in Nigeria, small businesses. And for the country,
say that figure one more time.
44 million small businesses in my country.
44 million.
Nigeria is big.
Wow.
Yes. And for the country to grow, we know across the world it's SMEs that grow an economy, right? So the government says, we want to train our SMEs. How do we do that? Different people are doing different things. So November 2020, we unveiled the SME Digital Academy. It was built by us, by Safital. We started with 5 courses. Today we have about 70 plus online courses. Everything from the technology to the content was done by Safital in our office, by these young people. No joke. In 2 years, we've trained tens of thousands of SMEs.
Yeah, on the platform.
No joke.
I'm speechless.
Yes.
Speechless.
I give you an example. In the southern part of Nigeria, I've never met this guy. So he went on the platform. There's a course called How to Raise Money for Your Business. So this guy took the course and he learned. Then he was able to, raise money from family, friends, and, then he bought a machine. The machine is able to package product, and he started selling the product. So he now did a short video and sent to us as a testimonial to say, I've never met you guys. I'm far away from, where you are. But I went on a platform. I learned. I raised money. I started my business. I'm raising the second money to buy the second machine. And I've got a video. I had goosebumps. I was like, how you can have a platform that is changing lives across the country. That's just one of our projects. We've done for the export sector. We have the Export Academy, again, with the federal government of my country. We've done, different things we're just so grateful that we're able to make an impact, But like we keep saying, we're just at the point where we want to scale more, especially with our project called Ethereum. That is our newest project. We want to focus on the young people now. We've done a lot with different sectors. Going into 2023, we want to focus on the young people. There are just too many of them. They need a platform where they can learn, not just learning academically, but learn the skills they need to survive. And that's the focus of a lot of organizations and countries around the world today. Skills, survival skills, yeah.
You're going to have platforms where you could be bringing the best knowledge and education from every single part of the world.
So that's why the Ethereum is very special to us. So Ethereum wants to look at continuous learning. Learning should not be just at the four walls of a university or a high school, or learning should be continuous. Skills should be continuous. We want you to be able to learn without barriers. Just keep on learning because there's a saying: if you stop learning, you stop growing, right? So we want learning to be continuous. And for this generation, they get tired easily. They want something new. They want change. So how can you give them something that is for them, by them? And that's why we're here. So we're looking at having partners, having people who would support us. We've traveled, like you said, to Saudi, to a lot of places. We're trying to see if we could get partners who believe in education, who believe in the young people, who believe in Africa, who would come with us on this journey. Let's take learning to every community in Africa.
You're talking about Africa, but what you've built can be replicated all around the world. Yes. There isn't any country in the world that can utilize your skills and methods because it's working. Yes, it is. Wow. And where do you where do you see yourself growing? It's just the figures are mind blowing.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're just beginning to start the scale process, and we've bootstrapped all this while. I'm an ex-banker. I worked in the banking industry for about 13 years before I left to start doing what I'm doing. So that whole knowledge and structure is right there in my mind, and it keeps the company balanced. So what we are now looking at is the kind of partnership that will make us grow. I give an example. So you are Steve, you're in Qatar, you are great at doing, for example, say emotional intelligence, you are good at that, or relationship building, or raising capital, or venture, capital fundraising, stuff like that. You are all the way in Qatar. There are people in Africa, in Nigeria, that could do with that knowledge. So what we do, we take your knowledge in any form, and we, with your permission, of course, sign all the documentation, intellectual property stuff. Then we take your content, we convert it into e-learning. We get you to speak into the camera. If you can't speak into the camera, we're going to use animations and infographics and sound and all that to recreate your knowledge into a format that is digital. Then we place it on all our multiple platforms. Then we make an announcement across the country that Steve is here. Steve is going to teach you guys how to raise money. Then everybody's going to go there, log in. So we're taking your knowledge and we're scaling it, just like Netflix. We kind of like the Netflix of education, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
What a wonderful way of saying that, right?
Yeah. So in the next couple of years, we just want to scale. It's not about. The returns are great, but the impact on the human being is much more. We are called a social enterprise because we put the, like she said, the SDGs in front of us first. We put the transformation first, in front of us. And in the next couple of years, we want to go to more African countries. We want to build more content on our platform. We want to reach universities at different parts of the world. We've started the conversation with, so we're reaching out to people across the best universities in the world. And one amazing thing is knowledge is knowledge. You find a professor who spent all his life, is probably in Morocco, in University of Morocco, or is in, Prince Sultan University in Saudi, or is in Qatar University here. He's got this knowledge all his life, and he's getting older. Somebody is going to retire. What are you going to do with that knowledge? We want to take that knowledge from you and make it available for the next 100 years. So children yet unborn, we come, we go to the platform, and we keep learning. So that's what we see ourselves doing in the next couple of years. Just keep scaling the content, keep scaling the people that are learning, keep transforming lives, and of course.
In that 2 years, and I want people to realize, and you're the nicest two people I've ever, some of the nicest people I've ever met. It's like, because when you talk to somebody, you say, is this for real? Is this just another pitch? Is it? But you've got it in place right now. Realistically, how many people do you think you're going to be touching with this education side of things in the next year?
If we're able to scale like we want to, okay, I'll use an example of maybe the SME Digital, right? And we did a project with the GSZ he mentioned, and we left the platform open for SMEs. In a month, we had over 20,000.
About 20,000 people were trained in just 1 month.
Yes. So.
You're so calm, right? Why are you so calm? Smiling. Here, enjoying life.
Yes. It
was crazy.
We've not started scaling yet. We see the potential. We've not even started scaling. The young people are, so if we can get like 1 million people, yes. 1 million young people first, in the first 1 year, just 1 million, that's our goal, yes.
Okay, just 1 million, okay? Only 1 million. How many times would I have to dream about that? But you've put something in place that you can scale. Now, if it went really well, would I be right in saying that it could be 2 million?
Yes, yes, of course.
So you've got there's no problems with confidence and the ability to be able to scale this to whatever figures that you want.
No, not at all. We can.
Unbelievable. So let's go. So how have you enjoyed Qatar?
Qatar is...
Yes.
It's Photoshop. So it's good. It's beautiful. The building. We went to somewhere. What's it called? The city center. The Pearl. The Harbour.
Lusail.
Yes.
We're going places today too.
Yes, Agent Education City.
Exactly.
It's amazing. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes, I know why you're here now. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and the people are great, right? And the community, and with what you can do here, it's just phenomenal. It's one of those sleeping giants that is just starting to awake, and there's nothing you can put in their way because they just look up and work it out and take it on. And the World Cup is a perfect example. Yes. What's your ambition? You personally, what's your what do you want to achieve?
For me personally, I want to touch a lot of lives. I want to make a lot of money because having the funds is very good to do the things you need to do. So on a personal level, I want to have enough funds. I've got lots of vision. I've got a lot in my mind, and I can look back the last 20, 25, 30 years of my life. And my mom always says to me that you know where you're going. It's like you want to just you want to take the world to this outer space and bring it back. So personally, I want to transform as much lives as I can. I want to make a dent on the continent of Africa. I want to be known as one of the people that truly transformed the way people learn across the continent of Africa. That for me will be looking back when I'm 60, by God's grace, and just go like, So we did that. We transformed that and all that. Yeah. So that for me is important.
Let me clarify something. What do you want the money for? You want to earn lots of money. What do you want to earn that money for?
I want to give that back, because
I just wanted to clarify. That's all I wanted to do. Okay, just in case somebody thought to themselves, oh yeah, he's all about the cash. Okay, it's not about the cash. It's not about the cash. Yes, you've got to earn money, but if you haven't got the money, how can you help others?
Yes, how can you help others? Yes.
To this scale.
Yes.
So I just wanted to clarify.
No, that's fine. It's all about giving back.
Yeah.
There's just so much we can do with a lot of projects you can implement across the continent. Yeah.
You are going to be a hero. Both of you are going to be a hero, but you're not getting away early. What do you want? What do you want to achieve?
I remember growing up, my sister would say, you can't help everyone. Yes, but because I've always had this way I do things that I feel I could help everybody at the same time. So it's always, yes, it's possible. We can do it. I'm going to help you do this. So for me, one of the things I want to do is to make sure, or to be able to help as much people go away from where they are now. If they're here, I want it to be somewhere higher than where you are. And one of the ways you can achieve that is through having skills, something to do. If I have something to do with my hands or something I can do to earn money, I can help the next person. Because for Nigeria, you're not just taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your mom, your dad, your sister, your uncle, and your aunt. So if I can help as much people to get skills, take them out of the level from where they are to somewhere higher, I would be very fulfilled, yes.
Whoa.
By the way, her name is Ebi.
It means mercy. Mercy of God.
Yes, it means to just take care of people.
Yes,
like
mercy.
And
yes. So.
What she does is just phenomenal. She can give everything to the next person.
I literally am speechless, and I don't think I've ever been speechless on a podcast before, but I'm just trying to take it all in, and I've got to know you over a period of time, and I'm just in awe by the two of you, of what you're achieving, and I know it's all to do with your team as well, but you have got something very special that's going to be something very big, very big, very big, unbelievable. I can't believe, and I'm privileged to be here, and I hope in the next few months that you're going to be here with your operation, and starting something here, because you've got something very special, and somebody should be, we call it biting your arm off for this opportunity, because you've got something very, very special, and I really do. I'm so thankful that you've come onto this podcast today to be able to tell everybody what you do. We will be watching your story. We will be part of your story. Everybody, people say to me, why did you choose a podcast, call the podcast I Want to Grow? If you don't want to grow, then there's something wrong with you. We all want to grow, every single one of us. And look at these two people. But let me tell you something about I Want to Grow, especially with our guests today. Okay? It's not about their growth. It's not about their growth. It's about how they help other people to grow. That's the main thing. And the one thing I can say to you now, one thing I would say to you now is it doesn't matter if it's millions, it could be just one. All you've got to do is just go out and help that one person. Okay? So thank you very much for listening today. This was an amazing, amazing journey for me today, and I hope it was for you. So for now, bye for now, until the next time.